Hi, I'm Heather. Welcome to class. Today we're going to work towards Parivrtta Ardha Chandrasana, the revolved half moon pose. Before we begin, if you find this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. Let's make a start. We'll stand up. We're going to use our chair. So have the chair on one end of your mat. Have the back of the chair facing you, hands holding the chair. Step your feet to hip width apart, and we're going to tilt the chair forward as we come into Ardha Uttanasana. So when you tilt forward, there's that strong hip flexion to bring the spine parallel to the floor. Keep the feet tracking parallel to each other and grip the kneecaps, firm the thigh muscles as the quadriceps activate, kneecaps flatten into the knee joint. And as you fold forward, take care that if you are hypermobile, if your hamstrings are supple, there may be that tendency to overdo, where we tilt the pelvis forward in an exaggerated manner and the lumbar spine digs in. Then the belly and the ribs start to move down towards the floor. So we want to contain the belly and the ribs. Draw the navel back towards the back abdominal wall. And sometimes it's helpful to think about the instruction of restrain the sit bones back down towards the heels. So as we draw the sit bones down to the heels, then we can put the brakes on that tendency to be excessive in the pelvic tilt. So navel retreating to the back abdominal wall, arms lengthening forward, torso lengthening forward. Go on pressing the head of the thighs back as the arms reach forward. Then raise the head up. You can bend the knees as you bring the chair back to all four legs on the floor. As we move now to use the chair in the fold of the hips, let's just see the height of the chair relative to the length of our legs. So if we bring the chair in closer to us and we've got our feet hip width apart, we hinge forward, we fold over the chair. Is that suitable for you to feel the pelvis is supported, or are the legs a little short, or perhaps the legs a little long relative to the height of the chair? So this is where we need to bring in some support. Perhaps we stand the feet up on a couple of bricks, or we fold a number of blankets over the top of the chair relative to our height, connecting with the chair. For example, my leg's length is very close to the height of the chair. However, I'm going to use a half brick underneath my heels just to elevate myself a little more. And depending on your height, you might like to use whether it's a full brick with the heels on the full brick, or perhaps you could even stand your feet on the platform of the bricks. Or if you don't have a half brick and the full bricks are just too much, you could use a folded blanket underneath the heels. But we can also use some padding over the top of the chair so that the pelvic bones aren't uncomfortable on the chair back. So we stand on any height that we may need, and we work with the chair coming right into the root of the thigh as the pelvis folds over the chair. And we can have the hands on the front of the seat of the chair. And we're replicating the Ardha Uttanasana shape that we just did when we were tilting the chair forward. Spine is parallel to the floor, legs perpendicular to the floor. As you draw the chest forward, watch that you don't let the belly drop and the lumbar collapse. Again, we want to draw the navel to the back abdominal wall. Keep this lumbar region long and broad. And as we bring the balance onto the right leg, start by pointing the left toes back. Internally rotate that left thigh. And then as you raise the leg, you'll push out through the heel, but just notice how sometimes the raising of the leg causes the pelvis to tilt. So that's where we want to be mindful. When you raise the leg, keep the thigh internally rotating, push out through the heel, but restrain the abdomen and restrain the pelvis from tilting. Still drawing the breastbone forward, shoulder tips back towards the hips. And as you push out through the heel, roll the inner left thigh up towards the ceiling. Then lower the leg. Let's stand on the left leg. Point the right toes back. Breastbone forward, but again without digging the lumbar in. So once more, that idea of restraining the sit bones down somewhat towards the heels can be helpful. Internally rotate the right leg as you lift it off the floor, and then start to push out through the heel and through the inner foot as you raise the leg. And the higher you raise the leg, the more there'll be that tendency for the pelvis to want to tilt with the leg. So see if you can restrain that pelvic tilt. Raise the leg so it's horizontal, no higher, and roll the inner right thigh up towards the ceiling. And the intention here of using the chair is you can feel the pelvis is on the chair. The pelvis is level. Yeah, we're not distorting the positioning of the pelvis. And perhaps you can bring your hand onto your lumbar spine. You can feel, is that digging in? Can you broaden that? Maybe you can feel the abdomen, help the abdomen to be restrained, navel back towards the back abdominal wall. And then lower the leg, and let's come to stand up for a moment. Step off your support if you're using your support. Take a breath or two. Then as you're ready, again, let's come back over the chair. So we use whatever height we're working with, whether it's under the heels or under the feet. So we've got the pelvis rolling forward over the chair. And then see if you can firstly lengthen breastbone forward, and then secondly, perhaps you can come down onto the elbows. Breastbone still lengthening forward. If it's challenging to come forward onto the elbows, you can stay up on the hands. But if you're coming onto the elbows, when we move to revolve the torso, we're going to place the left forearm across the front of the seat. So the left hand is holding on to the edge of the seat, right hand onto the sacrum. And let's just explore turning. Turn to the right. So as you drive the left forearm onto the chair seat, you pull with the hand onto the outer chair. Use that to sweep your left armpit chest around towards the wall. And press the right shoulder tip back. Then come back to center, swap your forearms, right forearm onto the chair seat, right fingers are gripping the outer edge of the chair, left hand is on the sacrum, and you lengthen the breastbone forward, drive the forearm into the chair to help you revolve. And then as you pull with the fingers on this outer edge of the chair, use that to help move the right armpit chest further around. Turn the left chest up. Left shoulder tip back, and then come down, and we'll come to stand up and step off your support if you're standing on support, and again we'll have another moment of reprieve. Now let's raise the leg and revolve the torso. So if you're using height under the feet, establish yourself there. You come forward and down. Whether you're on the hands or you're on the forearms. Raise the left leg. So as you raise the leg, roll the inner left thigh up to the ceiling. Keep both sides of the pelvis touching the chair. Draw the breastbone forward. Then take your left forearm across the seat of the chair, right hand onto the sacrum. Twist to the right. Go on elevating the back leg, no higher than the hips though. Push through the left heel, roll the inner left thigh up to the ceiling, sweep the left armpit chest around towards the wall on your side, and press the right shoulder tip back. Then lower the leg, come out of the twist, stay down, and just swap your forearms. Right forearm on the seat of the chair, left hand on the sacrum, raise the right leg first, push out through the heel, contain the abdomen, broad and long in the lumbar spine, and then twist. So you're turning to the left, and the inner right thigh is rolling up towards the ceiling as you go on raising the leg. Push out through the heel. Press the left shoulder tip back as you're intending to turn the left chest up. And then lower the leg, come out of the twist, and you can come to stand up again. Step off your support. And let's do Uttanasana for a moment, having a moment of reprieve. So you can fold your chair so the bottom of the seat is facing away from you. You can still use your support. And once more, you have this chair back or chair top in the pelvic region where you're folding. So it's in the hip flexor area as you fold over. It's not right down on the thighs. It's into the thigh crease as you fold forward. Lengthen the front body and then drape yourself down and have a moment of rest. If this isn't for you, if you feel too stiff, then I'll give another variation. You can look in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Then as you're ready, raise the head up, press your hands into the chair legs, spine parallel to the floor, and then you can come to stand all the way up. We put the chair away. We'll use a brick and the wall for another variation of our revolved half moon pose. Take your mat back to the wall. And then we stand with the right side body against the wall. We're going to balance on the right leg and the left hand. So that outer right hip can come in close to the wall. Left wrist is vertically under the shoulder. As you raise the left leg, then the right hip is vertically atop the ankle. Push out through the left heel. Roll the inner left thigh up towards the ceiling. Then take the right arm forward along the wall. Turn to the right hand up the wall. Just the fingertips pressing to the wall to help you rotate the chest. Right chest up. Left armpit chest sweeps around towards the wall. The outer left hip can draw down, but don't be excessive in that. Draw the outer right hip back along the wall. And then let's step down. And we'll swap sides. Left side body close to the wall. You'll come forward. Right hand will be on your brick. You can stabilise with the left fingertips on the floor as you raise the right leg up. And see that your right wrist is vertically under your shoulder and that your left hip is vertically top the left ankle. Push out through the right heel, roll the inner right thigh up towards the ceiling. And as you reach the left arm forward up the wall and take it around as you turn the chest, try not to drop this back leg. Go on pushing out through the heel as the leg lifts. The outer right hip can draw down, but again, don't be excessive. And cut the outer left hip back. Then press the fingertips to the wall to help you to turn. Right armpit chest around to the wall. Left chest up towards the ceiling. And then lower the leg and come out of the pose. Now, we were practicing facing the wall. This time, let's face away from the wall. So as we want to twist to the right first, we're going to have the left side of the body facing the wall, balance on the right leg, and take the left leg up. So now the outer left foot can press into the wall. That can be helpful. Draw the chest forward, breastbone forward. Sit the right hand on the sacrum. Go on pushing out through the left heel, roll the inner left thigh up. That outer left hip can draw down somewhat. Outer right hip back, lengthen the sternum forward, and then turn to the right and stretch the right arm up the wall. See if you can turn the torso so much this right shoulder tip comes further back to the wall. Try not to lose the height of the back leg. And remember that mid-body, we're staying strong in the abdomen, not sinking down. Then let's come out of our twist and we'll swap sides. Right side body's against the wall. We're balancing on the left leg, taking the right leg up. Right hand is on the brick. So now the outer right foot's on the wall. The outer right hip draws down a little as the outer left hip rolls back. Lengthen the breastbone forward. Sit your left hand on the sacrum. And then start to twist away from the wall. So you're turning to the left, but you're still using the wall as a reference point. Go on pushing back through the right heel, inner right thigh rolling up, and then can you take your top arm up? Fingernails to the wall, knuckles to the wall, shoulder tip to the wall. Go on turning. And then let's lower the leg, come out of the pose. Take a breath or two. Most of my videos on YouTube are quite short and they're really only just short sections of a practice. I have a website with over 350 classes, full-length classes in a video library. So if you would prefer full-length classes rather than very short tutorials, check that out. heatherkitchenyoga.com.au and you can start with a 7-day free trial. That's it for today. Thanks for joining me. For more in-depth teaching, check out the video library on my website, heatherkitchenyoga.com.au. The link is in the description box below.